Okay, darling, I'm going to explain today Kali Kriya. It serves to defragment your body from the fear, worry, anxiety, any kind of limiting factor. These impressions that we accumulate over time, they constrict the I am. Okay. Now, it is also kind of normal for us to experience resistance because there is always subtle dance between the expansion and resistance where we can always lean into that. It can be a joyful ride, but many times we need to find a way to move and dance with it, like dance with the devil, dance with the fear. Otherwise, you can't always just push through. You can bounce yourself like your head off the wall, and so there's always like a subtle movement. So when you want to do this Kriya, I suggest first of all to get a little bit jiggly. Because in the dance of the yin and yang, you can defragment this energy. We all accumulate, our body and mind accumulates obstacles, memories of obstacles that we have not overcome. And so like this morning I was having a cold shower and my body was cringing, and I'm like, well, it was just a few days without a cold shower. I would have them every morning, but only few days without a cold shower and my body accumulates cringe. So much cringe that when I was going into the cold shower I was like, right? And okay, so getting jiggly, getting soft, not fearing the Reaper, but kind of like allowing that this is your own shadow projection that is giving you limitation. Because how the universe works, the yin and yang, you and the outside, you and the other, it's all you, but in the mental realm these are like split into yin and yang. Okay, so you have to find the resistance, then you can move with the resistance. Okay, so it's like doing martial arts for fun. You know, there's no need to put too much force actually, because if you think that you can win, then you put too much force on the opposite force, it will push back, so you will win and then you lose. But if you're doing this fine dance, the effortless dance, then you're just doing it for sport, you're doing it for fun, you're dancing with the devil, and it's then just you dancing with your own shadow and kind of like finding a way to move through. And then every day you will advance, and then your experience, your wisdom will grow, and on the next level there will be the next devil. So every day leaning into it, getting soft, that's the first. Now when there is already accumulated cringe, and we are in an astrological setting of, you know, Friday 13 or like 911, 9/11, all of these kind of portals that are leading us into recycling. Okay, recycling. So this can feel hella anxious if you're not seeing what it is and then accepting that you're just going to kind of like go into the dance. And then there's this beautiful song, it says like, come on baby, don't fear the Reaper. So you can make it an experience of like fluid Tai Chi type of martial arts, where it's not actually the intention to conquer or destroy the opposition. The intention is to play with it. Okay, and in the play you grow, but as you grow the opposing force grows too. You're just getting a new set of challenges. Okay, so you have a fierce energy. One of the archetypes that in the God-mind architecture you have 12 archetypes. So in the mind, in the psyche, you have 12 archetypes. One of them is Saturn. Okay, and you need discipline and organization to restructure your own psyche. But this energy in the physical world is manifested as literally guns and vacuum cleaners. So you know when you vacuum cleaning your house, it feels good, but you're actually like taking all the distortion, all the dust, the spider webs, everything that was like starting to get into entropic mode. Energy starts to get like slowed down, entropic, lazy, and you're like vacuuming the laziness. So you need this Saturnian discipline to vacuum clean the laziness, and you're doing that within your psyche. So this is not the time to be like, oh, but what about this project? It's so cool, I don't want to let it go. And it's just like whatever is not organized, it has to go out in the trash can, right? And then when you like taking out the garbage and you plump it into the trash can, it's like done. So the fierceness of that, and also the aftermath of like all of this energy that is entropic is like dark or demonic in nature, which means everything wants to go into zero, into black hole. So everything wants to defragment itself, and the beings and the thought forms they will like devour each other. The dog eat dog kind of like, where you have the darkness not catching light anymore. You're not going to give your awareness into these like projects, the thought forms, these unfinished businesses. Recycle bin. So the nature of these then thought beings, thought forms, entities, it's that they are eating each other down into dust, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Everything recycles itself. This is the entropic mode. So the only way to go through this is like not identifying, because if you identified your awareness with any of these thought forms, it will go and be like, but I don't want to die, I want to get cling to this, I want to still get that, I don't want to let go. And then there will be anxiety and sadness, and it will kind of like, but if you have a clean cut, right? So you need the Saturn, you need the katana, and clean cut, and then just let go. And the energy becomes liberated, the thought form becomes recycled, your awareness comes back to you, and now you can pull your whole awareness into a new project with single pointed focus. You will have the Agni thought, and you will have full manifestation power. So cutting up the distorted thought form, the demons, the unfinished businesses, and then really having no mercy, because if your consciousness is projected into these beings, and they are like the beings as they are, the thought forms, the energies, they want to like finish their program, they want to still do something, they want to go there and express themselves as your little subset of personality, or all these little person, all these little animals, all these little so cut. Now when you start to cut, you're actually assuming the transcendent role, and this is where the vacuum cleaner archetype, the vacuum cleaner sphere of influence of the 12 spheres, is also represented with goddess Kali. She is sometimes called Lilith. She is very hilarious, because at the same time destroying all the distortion, she's gonna be like crazy laughter. Okay, so this is the dark feminine returning the unstructured particles back into the womb of space to recycle, and then in the empty womb of space there can be new seeded ideas that can then be nurtured into existence. So at the same time, Mother Archetype is a nurturer, but it's also the destroyer. And with the destroyer, there is the transcendence, because then pure consciousness is becoming liberated. So with the transcendence, you see that all of these formations were a spectacle, a show of form, and this form is Maya. So therefore, the laughter of like, like, okay, cutting everybody's heads off is like, the joke is only funny after the end, because as long as you're in the form and you're clinging to life and it's like, you will not laugh, because it's going to be hella fearful, because your thought form, your form is equipped to survive and still try to move. Okay, so you have your main form that you're supposed to actually survive and move through, but you have all these mini aspects in your personality that you need to shed off. So when you're shedding them off, it's way easier to shed them off if you understand, okay, let's go through a death cycle, and instead of me being still projecting into all of these sub-personalities that are trying to still finish something, say something, like, alright, I can do it in a flow where they're like expressing, saying, or I'm just like cutting ties, but then what I'm doing is like I'm already going into stepping out of the game, okay, into the liberated perspective that I am. So all of these forms now don't have if they're grasping to do still and to push the body. This is what you do when you meditate. You start to meditate, and all of these subconscious like thought forms, they're like trying to animate your body into action. So you be like, nope, cut, and then it feels like anxiety. If you haven't meditated for a while, it feels like anxiety, because the body's like, but let's have a cigarette, man. Let's maybe go outside, maybe do some jogging, maybe like finish sending the email. But you're like, no. But then, if you're resisting them from your another thought form perspective, I want to meditate, is trying to resist these other thought forms, they will start to compete. Which thought form has the more energy to actually move your body into something? So the correct, and this is the emphasis of this, like the correct perspective is not another ego formation, another small thought form that says, no, I will resist my desire to do this, do that, and I will stay here and I will meditate. No, this is not meditation. Meditation is actually going out, seeing, okay, damn, I have like complete disassociation, supreme relaxation from this. And this is this shift is spatial. So there's a clue for you if you're trying to like do the Kriya or meditation. The shift is spatial. It's a different perspective. It's not a perspective here that is identified with the thought form I want to meditate. It's like exiting the screen of thought forms and going one step behind in the camera, okay, in the very baseline of the camera, and seeing that you are supremely detached already, and then your body jiggles and you start to just allow these energies to dissolve, defragment. You allow your body to somatically correspond with the movement of that energy that wants to get out. And wow, okay, there's no suffering in that. There's no clinging in that. There's no anxiety in that. There is just then, something that you can turn into a really graceful flow. And now the Jin and the Yang, they're going to sort this out, and you're going to have a clean, fresh, defragmented operating system where you can invest. It's called the Rebirth, right? You can now invest your full awareness into springing new thought forms into space, and they will rise, they will become beings, and they will animate you to do stuff, and they will create a timeline where you will play that you're doing this stuff. That's it.